was trying to give her.
Well, my visit to the president, a brief one. Basically, I've come to inform the president, update him with the progress of work on two federal roads that are got his approval to build. The Owerri-Olu Road and the Owerri-Okigwe Road, which by the grace of God will be due for commissioning next month. And the contractor, Kremborg, a world-class contractor, road construction company, have done brilliantly very well. And the roads are almost 95% complete. By next month, they will all be completed, ready for the commissioning by Mr. President. And Mr. President have graciously approved that he will be there to commission the roads. I also used the opportunity to brief him on the state of affairs in my state, particularly as it has to do with the recent resurgence of banditry and the efforts we've made to contain the situation.
Sir, this road you mentioned, are they federal roads or state roads?
They are federal roads. I wrote to Mr. President to approve that the state construct the roads because they are economic roads, critical highways that will alleviate the sufferings of our people. And those roads have been there for over 16 years, unattended to. The Owerri-Olu is 44 kilometers dualized, making it 8 kilometers. The Owerri-Okigwe is 59 kilometers, expanded from 7.3 meters to 12 meters. And the progress has been very substantial.
Sir, what are the financial implications?
Well, the cost currently is borne completely by the state, and we struggle to do that, hoping that one day the Spirit of God will touch the heart of federal government and they may refund us either completely or some part of the money used for the construction. But what is important and uppermost in our mind as a government at the state level is to make the roads motorable so our farmers can evacuate their proceeds to the market and life can be made more meaningful to our people. Yes, it is on the map. I've written to Mr. President. In fact, he has agreed I should come with the letter. By next week, I'm going to come up here with a letter requesting for also an approval to do the same thing from Ebu Mbise Road up to the boundary between Imo State and Abia State. It is also in our plan. And during our stakeholders meeting, I did mention this to stakeholders and unanimously agreed that it will be a veritable thing to do.
Okay, sir. The second question, recently, last week, a staff of INEC was killed in, I think, two homicides. What is the assurance the state government is giving INEC that their safety is guaranteed in the forthcoming elections? And the second question, sir. I listened to you when you were addressing the congregation, Mr. Sunday, when we are saying that the crisis in Imo State is allegedly sponsored by the opposition elements. But some persons are saying that it is even more sponsored by the ruling party because of the intra-party crisis in Imo State. What is their reaction to that, sir?
Well, the incident that happened that involved the INEC staff, regrettably, INEC was not the target we had the intels that the correctional center facility in Okigwe was to be attacked by bandits. And we caught their conversation, and we fortified the correctional center facility. And the truth to it, the bandits approaching Okigwe saw how fortified the place was, and they now tried to escape through Itu Boma. And they ran into INEC people where they were doing continuous voter registration. And out of that anger and frustration, attacked them. You must have heard that yesterday, 2 of the bandits have been arrested and are helping the Nigerian Police, Imo State Command now, to do a very thorough investigation. And until that is done, I may not speak much on that. Then on the issue of the sponsoring of banditry, and you are saying if it is APC, I want us to look at the issue of banditry in Nigeria holistically. If anybody is telling you that its government is in power is sponsoring banditry, how and why? How can anybody even think of a government sponsoring banditry in a country that they are in charge? If that is correct, assuming they're not conceding to you, how many states governed by opposition parties are under the kind of attack that we get from Kaduna every day, that we get from Imo State every day, that we get from Ebonyi State? So if we are the ones, why are we attacking our own states? Why are we going to be enemies and do opposition to our own government? Among those that have been killed and houses that were attacked, how many of those buildings belong to opposition party? Am I supposed to be attacking and burning down my own house? Or do you think a governor will be there to burn down his own house? Or the Kaduna governor will be there to burn down facilities in his government? So we should be able to ask questions, not only as media practitioners, as Nigerian citizens. I just use this medium to call on Nigerian politicians to play politics without bitterness and stop letting blood here and there in the name of looking for power. If I am no longer in doubt as to who are the sponsors of banditry in Nigeria, those who want to make Nigeria ungovernable cannot be the people governing Nigeria currently. After all, we don't have an election this year. Elections will start by next year. So throughout this year, APC government is in power and will not want or encourage any disruption. So I think that we should reason and begin to think better than we are currently doing. Nigerians should be more patriotic. Our national interests should be uppermost in our mind. I just told you what I told you. The people wanted to attack correctional center facilities. They were not able to do that. Of course, you know, Mr. President is Chief Security Officer in the country. These are information I'm sure he already knows. But at least courtesy demands that having seen him for these commissioning programs, I should use the opportunity also to discuss the challenges I have in governance.
At the state level, what are you doing at the state level?
Of course, we are doing everything possible to ensure the situation is controlled and contained. Currently, we are on top of the situation I told you. Government is not sleeping. Yeah, of course, the matter has been referred to security agencies. Of course, you know that we must be law-abiding citizens, and the government that believes in the rule of law will do things consistent with due process. So we have given the available information we have to security agencies, and I'm confident they will work with the information we've given to them.
I take the last question from the team.
Okay, sir. Recently, Chief Ahmed Babalola was reported to have suggested that an interim national government be formed after the Buhari presidency to stabilize the country before the next election in 6 months. What is your take?
What do you mean by interim government when you have a permanent government? Have you seen a landlord praying to be a tenant before? No landlord wants to be a tenant. Every landlord wants to build more houses and own more homes. So I don't think, I didn't hear him say that, but if it is what he said. After May 29th. No, by May 29th, if there is no elected government, our constitution has not provided for an interregnum. You shouldn't give a gap. Otherwise, you are creating room for anarchy. And what will be the process for selecting the interim government? Because after May 29, the president may not have constitutional powers to function as a president anymore. So I don't think we will decide to abandon our constitution. Constitution is like a Bible. And that is, some of us who are Christians, the Bible is the manager of our faith. So the constitution should be the instrument guiding our actions as a country. So, but if there is any opinion that you think that is worthy to be canvassed, superior to what is currently in the Nigerian Constitution, such opinion should be taken to the National Assembly, and then they will through due process amend our Constitution to factor in such opinion.